Hello. Hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Okay, everyone should see and should hear me. Hello. Please comment and let me know where you're tuning in from. Hi. Okay, so tonight on May 23rd of Lupus Awareness Month, we are talking about something that the Lupies and the friend Adam calls them the normies don't talk about enough at all. Men with lupus. Oh, if you are seeing me right now, you should be seeing me on Facebook. You should be seeing me on Instagram. You should be seeing me on YouTube. And also, I'll be seeing me live on Tickety Talkity. Let me see. What's happening right now? This is weird. Why don't we see me on something went wrong? Okay, apparently. All right, you might miss out on Lupus Awareness Month on TikTok. I'm not sure because it told me to try again later. Here we are. I see what happened here. Okay, well, any hoodle toast strudel. If you have never seen me before, my name is Tennille. I got people through reclaiming their identity and designing a full life after a diagnosis. And that's all we do here. That's what we do. You should be able to see me on TikTok right now. Just gonna fix this. Let me restart the app, and that's totally fine. Hello there. Welcome to Lupus Awareness Month, day 23 of May 2026, year of our Lord. Hey. So, it's a myth that I want to let y'all let go of. Release this myth. It's a myth. Men do not get lupus. Men do not have lupus. Men don't have the symptoms of lupus. You're mistaken. And just because women make up the majority of people with lupus, Black and brown ethnic women make up the majority of lupus, that doesn't mean that everyone else does not get lupus, or it's impossible for you to get it. I think who messes up is House. Did you ever watch House? When I got diagnosed with lupus, I lost count of the amount of people who said, it's never lupus. It's not lupus. It's never, it can be lupus. It was lupus. Y'all, stop playing with me. So because of this being one of the biggest misconceptions out there about lupus, men are often labeled, non-compliant when they want to identify somebody with lupus, or if you change doctors, they will try to diagnose you over because they don't believe that you were at any time diagnosed with lupus. We've had men, I have a list of things people have told me. I've had 3 so far, men with lupus on my podcast, and I've taken notes. They have like men's support groups that one of them hosts, and so the men have a lot to say about how they feel about being diagnosed with lupus and people not believing that they have lupus. They feel overlooked, overwhelmed. They have delayed diagnosis or want to be diagnosed again because people don't believe them. They feel isolated in their journey because not a lot of men have it. And they're struggling silently so that they look manly. So pain, inflammation, disease does not care about gender in any way, shape, or form, okay? You can be diagnosed with anything. If you have organs, then you can have lupus. And it's hard, I've heard from a lot of men, that since they are like 1% of the people diagnosed with lupus, it's hard to feel like a man with this disease because let's say in a relationship, you would expect the man to carry the heavy things. You would expect the man in a heterosexual, traditional relationship. The man is living up to so many expectations that they did not ask for, and like they want to do for you, but maybe they're sicker than you. And like dating for them is really hard, and showing up in a way that they would think is like, manly can be really hard. So bless them all. Just realize it exists, and they need all the things we need. They need support, they need community, they need visibility, they need understanding, they need nurturing, they need to not feel less than because they're a man with a so-called woman's disease, right? It's so interesting and weird because there's men can get breast cancer also, you know? Like there are things that are stereotypically a woman's thing that men get every day. It's just that there's such a small percentage people just ignore that they exist, and it's hurtful and it's wrong. Every warrior really deserves the care that each of us get, right? Like, so I'm gonna give some facts like I do. About 90% of lupus patients are women, but men are absolutely in the fold too. They do develop lupus. Men are often diagnosed later because people don't expect it. They're really and truly the ones that they get it can't be lupus. It's impossible. There's no way. And I've been talking to my male friends who have been diagnosed and re-diagnosed at different hospitals because they don't believe that it could possibly be, oh, it must be something else. Even like myself, when I've had major flare-ups, I've had doctors fly out from other states to come look at me and try to re-diagnose me with something else because this couldn't possibly be lupus. So I can only imagine as a dude who stereotypically wouldn't get diagnosed with lupus, you know, it must be terrible. So some research suggests lupus is in men may sometimes present more severely. It's very interesting because most diseases or most scientific studies, most things are tested only on men, and then they go back later and kind of fill in the blanks for women. It's reversed in this, that because it presents the way it presents in women, and mostly, you know, it's us, they are looking at the symptoms that we provide in the research and like that we talk about. But how come they don't realize that our bodies are different and they're going to present different and they're going to have the symptoms be at different severities anyways, just like how, you know, if men had periods, they might die, you know, like they don't understand how that process works, having cramps. Have you ever seen any of the dudes in period simulators, like cramp simulators? Whoo, it's crazy. And like we as women walk around all day in, you know, go to work, raise children, you know, clean the house, do whatever we're doing, live normal lives, have normal faces on, and are menstruating simultaneously. And there's a lot of dudes who would just lay on the floor and keel over and die. So to say in this, I have like a fact sheet, right? And to say that some research suggests that lupus in men may present more severely, it's probably the same. It's just that the pain threshold that they have is different. You know, a lot of men just want to appear more manly, so they're not going to admit how much pain it is. And the kinds of pain that women traditionally experience, childbirth, there's no men that are volunteering, signing up to birth a child, okay? And women are generally excited for that. Like, maybe not the pain part, but like you get the whole baby thing, you know, it's great. So, let me see what else notes I have. So awareness should include every warrior, all of us. It's really, to me, disgusting how men are othered and we're doing to them what people do to women all the time in a million other ways. It's so interesting to me that, you know, it's the hurt people thing, I guess, maybe, that they're like, this is our thing and you can't be a part of our club and like you can't sit with us. But that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If it was your husband or your son or your dad that was going crazy looking for the diagnosis and couldn't get it because it was the man, you would feel some kind of way about that. So imagine a dude who doesn't have support because it's stereotypically not their disease, right? Yes, warrior mom. That's the reason that we have the babies. We can sustain the pain that they don't understand. So I've had 3 men on my podcast. I only still have some pictures of them that are lupus warriors. One, like I said, um, has a support group. He is the male lupus warrior, and 2 of the guys that have been on my podcast, they are in desperate need of kidneys. Y'all, it's wild to me that I've had people on my podcast who got kidneys immediately, and then I've had people on my podcast who are still on this waiting list, and it's so sad to watch. Like, I don't know if it's because they're men. I don't know what is going on, but I've had women on my podcast who've gotten kidneys right away, and then I've had men on my podcast that have been waiting for years, or are on their second transplant that they need a new kidney, and it's all terrible. Oh no. Okay, so I don't have my guys on here, but I do have somebody who you probably will recognize. So this is Seal. And Seal is a famous singer. I know some people who don't know who that is at this point because it's not the 90s. But and TikTok, I apologize. I don't have the picture to put on here, but he sings songs like Kiss by a Rose, Kiss from a Rose, the Batman soundtrack. He sings a bunch of songs. If you look him up, Seal. So his face is mildly disfigured because the man is still hot. Okay, he has all of the muscles, and no one's even paying attention to the scarring on his face. But the scarring on his face is from lupus, the skin version of lupus. I can think of names right now, but he's a very strong, very strapping man, and people would never even know that he suffers with pain on a regular basis. That's why he looks the way he does physically, like muscles and that kind of stuff, because he drastically changed his health practices after he was getting his diagnosis. He is a super strong man. He's had kids and a wife and all the things, and he made it his mission as a young man getting diagnosed that he was going to be really healthy and really fit as much as he possibly can, so that he's fighting this lupus just with the way he takes care of himself. And it's evident. He's dealing with scars that no one talks about and no one knows about. But now he's more open. Like in the last probably like 10 years, he's talked about lupus a lot. And I can find interviews of him on YouTube and that kind of stuff. Seal, the singer Seal, if you ever look him up. And there's interviews all over about him talking about growing up, being diagnosed younger as a young man with lupus in the 80s and 90s. So Emmett was diagnosed in the 80s or 90s. Who else? Goodness, my brain. Okay, my 2 other guys, they were diagnosed, earlier when they weren't talking about lupus. Also, Adam, that's one. Adam, he's on TikTok specifically. He's not on any other social medias. But Adam is an author now. He wrote a book about us, about lupus. And he studies, and he lifts weights. He's got physique for days. Like, he is very intentional about the way he takes care of his body at this point, because lupus does not care about anything that you are doing besides how you take care of yourself. Okay, there are ways to stave off major flare-ups. Yes, you're gonna have some flares. You're gonna have like little things that go wrong, and he does, but he lifts those weights every day. Okay, he'll do it live sometimes on TikTok, and he's big and burly, and you would never know that he's been fighting the thing. He's almost died several times. Okay. There's another one of us who I interviewed a couple of times who needs a kidney, and he works for Lupus Foundation of America. Like, they're behind the scenes doing all the things, but they look completely fine and normal. Chris sometimes walks with a cane, so maybe you would notice that. But otherwise, that man, they're all very strong looking, handsome men, and you would never know. So please, be aware that men with lupus walk amongst us, and they need just as much help, and they need just as much, you know, voice, and they need just as much exposure to the outside world. Hi to Brazil. What is it? When I can't remember how to say it, but I can say "Oi, como vai?" Is that Portuguese? It might be. Um, yeah. Hello, Brazil. Thanks for being here. So, men, this is Mental Health Awareness Month as well, and it, as much of a struggle as it is for a woman who carries the world on her shoulders to be down and out with this disease, men's mental health statistically takes such a huge beating because, like I said, they're expected to be carrying themselves in a certain way, to carry their family in a certain way, and to be strong and to be fierce. And then this disease will humble you so quickly. And men, I mean this with all the love I can muster. Thank you so much. But the male ego is moderately fragile. Okay, like it's very. They need it to look a certain way. Otherwise, a lot of them will crumble. And this disease will humble you so quickly. It is a crumbling disease. Okay, it will make sure you don't feel like yourself. So help them to feel seen, heard, discuss the symptoms with them. Let them know, like, chronic fatigue and that kind of stuff is all of our symptoms are their symptoms, you know, and they are in a smaller community. So invite them into your community. They are us. We should be taking care of them the way that we want people to take care of us. Okay. It's very important to me. I have friends that I love who have lupus and are men, and they do not get the love and care that we get. And we don't even get that much. So can you only imagine, right? So I'm going to end this. I'm going to give the couple questions. Let me know if you relate to any of these things. Put relate in the comments. Put value in the comments if you get any value from this. I would love to hear your opinions on these questions. So did you know, before this podcast, did you know that men also could be diagnosed with lupus? Number one. Number two, do you know any male lupus warriors? Do you know anyone who's a man who has lupus? Much less, I know a lot of people don't even know anyone with lupus at all. Do you know any men with lupus? And then for my future podcast, what misconceptions about lupus bother you the most? Because I'll talk about it. We have a few more days of this month, and I would love to. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you so much. Yes, I am a coach and speaker and podcaster. My podcast is on Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on back, Victor. Yeah. But answer those questions. Let me know if you have any other misconceptions about lupus that I can help fill in the blanks for you. And I will see you guys not next week, tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow because we're doing a podcast every day for Lupus Awareness Month, or every day adjacent. Doing our best over here. Have a gorgeous night. Stay happily healed. Hug your man with lupus, okay? Lupus awareness should never exclude people, okay? This conversation about all of us, not just women with lupus, everyone with lupus. This is our month. Be kind to a man with lupus today, okay? Have a great night. Bye.